Nickeil, you guys have kind of hung your hat on the defense, specifically the perimeter defense and the ball pressure you guys are able to apply all season. What about Kyrie and Luka made that so tough to be able to kind of impress your defensive will on the game?
They're tremendously skilled. They pretty much can do everything. 3-level scorers, playmakers. So I think one of the toughest things is they're going to make tough shots as well. So it's kind of hard to say I'll live with that because they're comfortable taking it. Just got to show up every possession, try to find a way to throw them off as much as you can, take them out of their rhythm. They see so many coverages every night. They've been here for a while. They've had success and failure in the playoffs, so they know what's going to come. They've seen it all. You know, this is my first year, second if you count it, just really having that opportunity. My first year playing all 82 and then coming into the playoffs and then getting that chance to, like, really learn just about the moment. And for me, it was just a growing process and getting better, and each game just trying my best and just trying to impact winning that I could for the team.
Rudy, as you kind of think about how this series played out for you guys, what's maybe the one takeaway that you have of why you guys weren't able to get past this team?
I mean, a lot of it, but definitely those first 2 games. You know, just being up the whole game, both games, and not being able to close. You know, I don't believe in the what ifs. You know, I think everything happens for a reason, but it's a totally different scenario if we win one of those 2 games or both. You know, so lots of great things. You know, obviously. Not where we wanted to end, but a lot of positives, you know, and a lot of things to be excited about, you know, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back and even better.
Rudy, you guys got, when you remember the Jazz made it to the West Conference Finals, I think.
Never
First. Second round.
Second round.
Okay,
Yeah.
I apologize. But you made some steps in the playoffs and didn't reach your ultimate goal. What about that process will you take with you to help this group reach its full potential?
Just keep going, keep believing. You know, I'm happy that we got, you know, second year for me with this organization, with this group. You know, obviously we the only thing in our mind was the championship, but championships are hard. You know, it doesn't happen like that. And getting to the Western Conference Final, second year, you know, with this young group, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited of what we can be as a team, and you know, and the growth, you know, the potential that we still have. You know, we haven't tapped into our full potential, or even close to it yet. So it's obviously frustrated, but it's really exciting too. And you know, and I don't plan on, you know, quit believing or anything like that. I believe that we're gonna get right back, and we'll be better and more prepared.
Rudy, you're a defensive tactician. You've had 5 shots at this team in terms of their ability to either finish off the bounce, throw a lob, or hit the 3 in the corner. What does this team need to do, whether it's personnel or habits, to be able to defend that at that level, to meet those guys and take at least 2 of those away fairly consistently?
It's a good question. I think we had a lot of really good defensive stretches, a lot of good defensive games. You know, this team, I mean, obviously Luka and Kyrie are 2 unique players, you know, and they're able to a lot of times figure things out, you know, and then I feel like we put ourselves in a position to win. I mean, 3 of those games, 3 of those 5 games. We just, we fell short, and doesn't mean that we were playing terrible defense. Doesn't mean that, they were playing amazing offense. It's just that we fell short, and there's a lot of factors that come into that. And we truly believe that it's all attention to details that is going to make the difference for us, and our mental toughness. I think they got the best of us a lot of times when we lost that, and everyone likes to talk about game plan and all of that, but I truly believe that our mental toughness at times, and emotional stability, in the tough moments. I think that's what we really have to learn and get better at throughout the whole 48 minutes and the whole series.
Nickeil, for you this offseason, is it more fine-tuning or adding things to your game? And if it is adding, what does that look like?
Definitely adding. I think there's more that I could have brought to the team. I think could have helped Mike in playmaking. I want to become a better defender. Like I mentioned before, those guys are great players, but it motivated me to want to take pride in that stuff, reach my full potential, try to be better, add value to the team. I think as a player, and to my young self of who I wanted to be, I think I'm very far from that. And for me, it's just adding in every facet, becoming a high IQ guy, being able to make plays, not so much just relying on Ant to do everything or relying on Cat to get me open shots or Mike, and vice versa, like helping them get open shots, getting them easy looks. Just becoming a more complete player, and that's about it.
Rudy, you have that book all the time, The Obstacle is the Way, at your locker. Does that apply here?
All the time, man. Every day. It's part of the journey. Each individual, I think, has their own challenges, their own goals, their own dreams, and nothing comes easy. One thing I know, like coming from where I come from and being able to, it's already a miracle being able to, living my dream, being, in this situation, Western Conference Finals, being where I saw myself when I was 12 years old and nobody else saw me, so it's already came a long way, but and it's only through adversity, it's only through perseverance, not giving up, just keep putting the work, keep learning, and obviously when you want to win really bad, it hurts, but being able to feed from that pain and turn it into something positive and keep growing and keep, at the same time keep appreciating every single moment, it's really it's really the mindset that I'm trying to embody, and I think our team has also embodied that mindset, and we've been through a lot of adversity as a group over the last 2 years, individually, collectively, and that never broke us. That kept us. That made us better. And I don't think we plan on giving up now. There's been some amazing progress, and we're gonna keep going through that.
Rudy, you take any scars from this? I mean, all that you've accomplished in your career, and there's some media people that were pretty critical of you, specifically in this series.
Any scars? Not really. I mean, I'm aware of, the noise, and people have different opinions. People sometimes say things that they don't even believe themselves. It's a it's an interesting world, the world of what's around, the game. So it's I really don't try to put my energy into that. I just try to focus on just being the best version of myself that I can be, and let people have their opinions. I think the most important thing for me is who I am as a teammate, who I am as a human being first, and the work that I put in, and the things that I try to do for the world. I think there's already a lot of work putting my energy into that. So people's opinion, eventually they're going to respect, and eventually they're going to be inspired at some point. But until then, I'm going to keep being the best version of myself every day.
Nickeil, this team made a big leap from last year to this year. Do you think an equally big leap is required to get the final step and get to the finals? And what do you think it will take as a group to make it that way?
100%. Winning is not easy. Looking back on each game and knowing that it comes down to if we had this possession back, it looks like a different series. If we did this differently here and there. So I think it's a huge adjustment, because that's a lot of the mental things that goes into it. And like Rudy mentioned, emotional control, mental toughness, high IQ plays. I think just ultimately for us to want to win, like we were 7 games away, and to win 7 more games that are high intensity, high pressure, always coming down to the wire. It's going to start with habits, consistency from when I leave here till God's willing next season and next postseason, and hopefully making a run again. But I think it's always about continuously making the most out of every day and trying to make that big jump, like you're saying. And it's going to take a big jump, and it's going to take constant failure and a mental battle to tune out he say, she say, to tune out the media, to humble yourself to the team, to do whatever it takes to win. And this playoff series postseason as a whole definitely taught me more about what it means to win, and not just really believing, but applying that belief, applying that trust in your work and everything, so forth. But also owning that moment. I think all those things are going to play into how we grow next year and making that jump.
Nickeil, you talked about wanting to grow as a playmaker and shot creator this offseason. How as a team can you guys level up, take the next step offensively, so that when you do run into an opponent with shot makers, you can go a little bit more toe-to-toe on the offensive end to answer back?
Put in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just put in the work. I feel like everybody this season also came back a lot better as a player, and that's why we were able to make this jump. And I have confidence that if we do the same thing next season, guys will be in the right place and where they need to be. And I trust that we can do this again.
Awesome. Thanks, Nickeil. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And how can you guys as a group use this as kind of a building block to, create a new standard for yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly want to look at the season-long performance as well as anything that happened in the playoffs. Certainly, take from what we learned here and the lessons that we were taught, but try to figure out some things that might kind of be red flags moving forward. But yeah, you got to start back at square one when the season starts. You can't skip any steps. The West is going to be a monster next year, as it continues to be every year. So, but there was a lot of things we did well this year. Super proud of our guys in just building another layer of foundation to get where we're trying to go. So.
Chris, did they take away what you were trying to do on offense, or did you kind of give it away to some extent?
I mean, their physicality really bothered us. Thought their physicality kind of just busted us out of everything we tried to do. So.
And do you think that's been part of a kind of a season-long? I mean, there's been a number of things that have plagued the offense, but
yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been a season-long thing. It's been certainly here and there over 100 games that you play. It's happened, but yeah. So
That surprised you most, that their physicality is what got you guys out of it? And it's been the opposite for you guys all year.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it surprised me. I mean, their defense has been, top defense since the trade deadline. They've done an incredible job of remaking their roster. 2 elite rim protectors. Like everybody's guarding at a high level. Good schemes. But yeah, I mean, we weren't able to apply the pressure at the point of attack with their 2 guys as we have been, and that feels like we spent the whole series on their hip or them getting by us a little too easily, and that's a tribute to their great skill as much as anything else. So
Yeah, I was going to ask, I think a lot of people would be like, oh, the Wolves didn't play like the Wolves, but how much do you think Dallas did have to do with that, and especially the play of those 2 kind of taking you guys out of what you do?
They shot over 50% again. We've been defensive led all year. We didn't get our defense consistently into this series the way it needed to be. Our most physical effort was last game 4, when we looked a lot more like ourselves on the ball and at the rim and everything else like that. So
For Ant at 22, it's rare in NBA history.
Yeah.
Where a 22-year-old leads a team in scoring and then leads his team to the finals. What is the next kind of growth here for him, and what did he maybe learn in this series that can propel him forward in the offseason when he goes to work on his game or?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, you got to get better at the things that you see in the playoffs, which get heightened. I think picking up some of the decision making. I thought I did a much better job of that as the year went on, as the playoffs went on. He saw probably more bodies in this series than he had in the previous 2. So that was one. But you're right. He's for a number 1 pick. I think he's had more playoff success than most of his colleagues that have been selected in that spot in recent years. The real challenge is, again, starting over at day 1. You can't get bored with the process of being great, and it takes the summer, it takes 82 games, and it takes sharpening your resolve in the playoffs, and just got to keep putting the work in.
Chris, you said in your first answer you felt like you busted out of structure by going a little isolation heavy in this game. What's the key when Ant and Cat are isolation heavy players to kind of stitch that together, the combination of isolation and structure?
Being able to go in isolation is, everybody does it at some point in the game, no matter how much structure you have out there. But you still got to get set. You got to get to the right spacing. A lot of it is spacing related. So. We were never really able to kind of get, I don't think, into anything that gave us great, shape. So.
More questions? Go ahead. Your last question.
Chris, just in this moment, I mean, obviously super disappointing with the way it ended. Are you able to take a step back and just look at the season as a whole and what you accomplished, or is it too fresh here?
No, of course we're very disappointed. I thought, like I said, that when I look back in summer long, going to be a lot of regrets about early parts of the series. But it's been a great year. Very proud of the guys. It's just the way the city has gotten behind the team and the fans. It's been special, and we've always said from the time we got here, we just want to put out a team that people are proud to root for and play the right way. And we feel like we do that. Now we just got to keep fine tuning everything. So, as the summers go on, of course you're going to reflect on the good, and you're going to also reflect on the things where you need to get better. So, thanks guys.
Yeah.